Hey everyone, so right now we are about to talk about masking. What is masking? Masking is when we designate a space in an image where we are either going to include or exclude some visual information. In this case, we can see this circular mask over here. And that circular masking is telling us that we are going to include this part of this married people's in this photo. In this image, we have a mask that is of someone's hair and maybe a little bit of their glasses. And what's going on here is that we have designated a place where we are going to include an additional image on top of this one. In this image right here, we have designated a particular place where we are going to include an image. Here is Egypt, which is the mask, the actual letters, and then the image behind it is the image that we are including as a part of this mask. And this is fundamental to understanding physical-based rendering materials, because predominantly what we're doing is continuously masking new visual effects on top of each other, not just with our images, but also with roughness, metallicness, etc. So what we want to generate is the letters. We want to generate the shape where we can include or exclude any image that we want. So let's go ahead and do that. Right here I have a cube. I took off the top and the bottom so that it would kind of resemble what we were looking at in class. And right now I have this principled BSDF, or is it BDSF, and I have my material output. I don't have anything else. Now, in order to make this resemble what we were looking at in class a little bit, I'm going to take this base color and I am going to have it represented by a node. But I'm actually going to keep the exact same value. Whoa. I'm just copying this. Great. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to create a color hue saturation value. I'm going to attach that color. And great. Exact same blue. Wonderful. So not much has changed with our friend blue square. But now that we have this as a node, it'll be easier for us to mix it and essentially mask something on top of this blue. So the way that we are going to mask is that we are going to use this mix color node. Now, if I bring this mix color node over here, my result will be a mix of the blue that we have and this gray. And I'm going to actually make this red. You know, we get a pinkish purple. That's not what we want. We want a blue square, and then we want red only to show up where our designated mask is. And we can do that pretty easily because we can take image textures that have just black or white, and we can use those to dictate the factor. And as a result of that, we can dictate where our mask is. So for the case of this example, I went ahead and I created a PNG. And I'm going to bring that PNG in an image texture. It's a great job, sticker. Great. I am now going to attach this sticker onto my cube. But remember, I'm not mixing the color. I am using the alpha information, the black and white, to be able to create a mask. And this is pretty interesting. Obviously, this mask is not where we want it to be. But instead of getting a mix of the two colors, we have the blue untouched and we have the red untouched or unmixed, but one is being mixed into the other one at a specific place. If we had grayscale values in my alpha, you would see that pinkish hue. But because my PNG only has black and whites, you either see the blue or you see the red. We've successfully created a mask. But here's something that's important to remind us. We can change the color or image of this mask into anything that we want. Woo, woo, woo. In fact, if I wanted to go ahead and create an image texture, whoop, I could, and I'm going to say, and I want to use our UV example, I could bring that up. And this is not going to mix the color of my UV example with the blue. Rather, it is going to create a mask where we can see the UV square in certain areas. You'll see also there are certain areas of this cube where I had like a box shadow right here, and you start to see that there's a little bit of a fading right here. So these are kind of like maybe like the mixed effects that I was talking about. But let's move on a little bit to actually getting this mask into the right place. So just like we did in class, I'm going to go over here to mapping, and I'm going to go from vector and I'm going to create a texture coordinate. And I'm going to attach that at the UV. Great. Now I have the ability to move. Whoa. My mesh, or sorry, my image wherever I want, my mask wherever I want. I can change its scale. And in this case, I'm going to make it, yeah, like about that. I'm also going to, instead of having it repeat, I'm just going to have one. There it is. And I'm going to slowly start to get this in the right place. So I am holding down shift right now, and I'm moving. Oh, I'm holding down shift. I'm selecting all of these, and that will allow me to select all of these parameters at once. And then if I hold shift when I am just moving one of these along, it'll actually move it in smaller increments, which is nice for me because especially with this mapping, I want to kind of be very precise about where I kind of put all these things. Great. So now we have the mask in a really great spot. And now what we can do is we can actually take the color of that sticker and use it for the mask. Okay, great job, almost. We now see that this sticker, while looking good in terms of its scale, is not really in the right rotation. So what we can do in terms of mapping is really just be as gentle and careful as possible. So I'm holding down shift right here. And you can see as I hold down shift, you'll see that it slowly starts to move these things along. And I really just want to be very incremental about this entire process because it can get kind of tricky to lose this little image. So I'm just holding shift and moving it around a little bit. Holding shift. Moving it around a little bit. Oh my God. And there we go. Great job. That's seeming good. Okay, but now remember, because this is just a black and white value, I can also use this factor to influence other aspects of my mesh. So if I wanted to make this sticker seem a little bit more metallic, or I wanted to have there to be somewhat of a clear coat on top of this, maybe make the clear coat roughness a little bit more, I could really get this to look a little bit more like a sticker. In fact, I could change the IOR specific to my sticker. I could change the sheen as specific to my sticker. Whoa, that's starting to look pretty good. Okay, so this is pretty fundamental to what we're doing in physical-based renders. Essentially, we're doing this with a variety of different effects together. And it can get easy to lose sight of what we're doing. When we were using vertex painting earlier today, we were literally drawing on the mask that we would later then add an image behind. So consider this when you are starting to play around with your physical-based renders for your homework. See you then.